I have tried to re-record this literally way too many times to count, so I'm just gonna go for it, and if I mess up, I'm gonna keep going because I'm so annoyed with myself right now. Anyways, I'm gonna start off with what I'm drinking. Number one, in my cute little pink Stanley cup, electrolytes, watermelon flavored, got them at Target. They're like literally the Up and Up brand. I'm obsessed. Second drink, hazelnut iced coffee. If you see that my cup's a little dirty, it probably still is. I wasn't patient enough and I just put coffee in it. Is that gross? A little bit. But it's from my own dishwasher. So I'm not that grossed out because it probably was just from me. Anyways, so I really want to get into talking about transition periods. I feel like right now I'm a college student. So sad. I'm a senior, so I'm about to graduate. I need coffee. After I just talked about how gross this was. It is gross. I'm not going to lie. I feel like making your own coffee is never good. Like, I'm trying to convince myself this doesn't taste like, this tastes like, and the fact that I put it in a dirty ass cup just adds on to that flavor. So I'm actually good on the coffee, but I will take some electrolytes. Okay, so anyways, I feel like I'm in such a transition period. I'm gonna get comfy. I'm getting comfy. I'm in front of all these apartments and I probably look really stupid, but I'm over it. Don't give a fuck. So, it's so pretty out today. Sorry, I'm getting very distracted. There's too many thoughts in my head. But I'm in such a transition period, and I feel like there's many transition periods in your life, especially as a young adult and even just a kid. I feel like you have so many different transitions. It's your first time going to school, your first time going to elementary school, your first time in middle school, your first time, like the first 20 of your years, the first 20 years of your life. That's what I'm trying to say. There's so many firsts. And so it's about to be my first time out of college, and it's been freaking me the F out. Like, honestly, it's been freaking me out. I don't have a very like strict schedule or thought process on what I want to do post-college. I know that, I mean, it would be insane and so awesome to be a content creator post-college, but also there has to be something to get me off my feet before I just dive into that. So I've been thinking of all these different opportunities, and it just leads me to remember like all my years at college and not seeing my friends again. And it's so sad being a senior and thinking about going off into the real world. And also, why is everyone calling it the real world? I'm sorry. Is something about to like hit me like a truck? Why is everyone saying when you go off into the real world, like you'll understand when you're in the real world? Have I not been in the real world? I don't know. I like have taken my college experience very serious. I feel like I've been part of lots of organizations. I have a job. Like, I feel like I'm in the real world. I'm stressed out 24/7. So it's like, are you saying that it gets worse? Are you saying it gets worse? I get more stressed out. Because if so, I don't know if I want to be an adult. I don't know if I want to graduate because I already feel like I have responsibilities. So what do you mean the real world? There's people who go out like every single night, but I don't do that because I have responsibilities. So I'm like, what do you mean when you say that? Anyways, cars keep passing me and this is really embarrassing. I need to stop being embarrassed. Caroline, stop being embarrassed. So I'm just wondering, if you know what that means, the real world, please let me know because I feel like I'm already living in it. I pay my own bills, not all of them, but I pay a lot of my own bills, and I feel like I am kind of like half adulting right now. So please let me know if you have any clue. Anyways, I feel like some of my plans kind of are to move back to Chicago. I'm from Illinois, so I would like to move back, and I think Chicago is like such an awesome place to be able to live. So I'm super excited for that. I'm not excited for the winters, especially because I currently live in Arizona and go to ASU. So I guess I'm a little worried. But I guess, what am I even trying to say? I don't know. I don't know if I'm giving advice or just kind of spewing my thoughts. But if I was to give advice to someone and they were saying, what should I do? I'm about to do this big move. This guy is in front of me and he is coming out of his house. That's so embarrassing. this is like exposure therapy for me. I get embarrassed so easily, so this really feels like exposure therapy, and I don't like it. Anyways, if I was to give advice to someone else, I love to put myself in this scenario. I love to say, what would you do if you're giving advice to someone else? Because I feel like that's a great way to gauge how you're feeling. So if someone else was telling me they're about to do this big move, they're about to finish with college, I would say a few things. First of all, I think the hardest part is meeting friends. But I don't think meeting friends is hard. I think that meeting good friends is hard. So I was going to say I think again, but I feel like I just said that 50 times in a row. But I feel like meeting good friends includes going to things you love and getting yourself just so involved in the new community. So I do have lots of family in Illinois and in Chicago, so that's one thing I'm super excited about. I also will be getting a new job, and I love to play sports. I love to go to the gym, and so there's so many different ways to get involved that way. So that's my number one tip of advice for someone who was doing a big move. That's honestly how I got really involved in college, was getting involved in everything that I'm super passionate about. I also think in a big city, it's a great experience to get involved in what you're passionate about, because there's so many more people around you who are also going to be doing those things. So that'd be my first part of my advice. My second part of my advice would be that nothing ever stays the same. And that's so scary to think about, because what do you mean? Like, some people hate change. Personally, I really love routine, so change can be a little scary for me too. But staying the same also scares me a lot, because what do you mean staying the same? Like, I'm someone who every New Year's I'm setting goals. Every birthday I'm setting goals. Every school year I'm trying to like aim for different things. So I'm very goal oriented. So I know that I don't like things staying the same, but also once you do get in routine, it's so scary to stray away and stray off of that. So I guess I would say nothing ever stays the same. I need to remind myself of that a lot, because I really love my routine. I love waking up early. I love working out in the morning. I love going to class, working, and being in bed early. And it's taken me a long time to get to that point. Like, that's definitely not how I've been my whole life. I've always loved routine, but it hasn't always looked so like strict and perfect. It still doesn't, honestly, because, nothing is ever gonna stay that perfect unless I was a psychopath. No offense. It's not like I don't have a life. I'm just convincing myself that I have a life, I think. Another thing I think that I would give advice to about someone who's moving is that so many people act like they have all these friends. They act like they have so many friends, and maybe they post doing all these fun, cool things, but you're not the only person that's going through a huge change or going through, I don't know another word to use. There's other people going through change too. And I think a lot more people feel lonely than they would like to admit. And I would rather have a few close friends and be in a new city and experiencing new things and feel close with myself than make not good friends and kind of just be there, if that makes sense at all. Everything in me right now is telling me to turn off this video and that I'm giving bad advice. So if you feel like I'm giving bad advice, this is so awkward. I don't feel like I should be making this video. I feel like I don't have the right to give advice, especially because I haven't gone through this before. But I do know that my transition from high school to college was really tough for me. So if that's your case either, I feel like that's very similar. I actually have a sibling who's going through that right now, and so we've been talking and I've been giving them all my advice. But I think that was so difficult because I was moving to a whole new place. I've been to Arizona like 2 times before I moved here. I never saw the campus. I never visited. I just knew I wanted to go somewhere warm, and I feel like I have hair in my mouth. Ugh. I don't. I think. I just knew I wanted to go somewhere warm. And honestly, like, that's how I made my college decision. Like, at the time, I tried to convince people it was other things, like, oh, but the school is so good. Like, no, I wanted to get out of the cold. But it was a super tough transition, just because you're not going to feel so at home that first year. And that's where I was talking about friends for. I feel like when I first got to college, all these people were making friends and going out all the time. And I was surrounded by people, but I never really felt like I had any good friends. And that was because I was surrounding myself with the wrong people, I think. And it was a great experience. I love looking back at the people I was hanging out with, but I also think I just wasn't in rooms that I felt super fulfilled in. I wasn't putting myself in the right spots, I wasn't putting myself in the right situations, and not that I was doing anything bad, but I just didn't feel very comfortable being myself with any of these people. And I think that's a really big sign that something needs to change, obviously. And so I got super involved on campus in women's lifting clubs and in soccer, and I started to do everything that I'm super passionate about. And I feel like the second that my life really changed is when I actually got involved in those things that I truly love, rather than just trying to make friends so that it looked like I had friends. And I don't even think I was doing that knowing that I was doing that. I think that I was just doing it because that's what you do when you're a freshman or coming out of a situation where you just are trying to make friends and meet people and see who's right for you. And I think it took me a lot longer than other people. Honestly, it took me like 3 years to find my bestest friends. I don't think I like really loved college until my junior year. And that's kind of tough because so many people will post that they are with their friends, and like it made me feel so alone seeing all these people get so close with people, and I felt like I didn't have that yet, especially because my best friends at home, they all had that too. And so I think that was kind of hard to watch and know that I didn't feel that way about my school yet. And I also got super homesick. I am such a homebody, kind of. I just love my family so much, and so moving away from them was also super tough. But I'm excited to move close to them again. I guess if you're going through something similar, I would say get into what you're passionate about. Don't be afraid to say no. You don't have to go to everything, but also don't be afraid to say yes. Like if there's something a little out of your comfort zone, definitely do it. But if it feels wrong, that's also like, you know what I'm saying? There's different situations, and you'll know what I mean. Your gut will tell you, like, if you should or shouldn't go to something. If you want to go to something, but you're nervous, that's a lot different than knowing you shouldn't go somewhere and try something new. So I guess that would be my advice. I am riding in my car. Just wanted to get some thoughts out. Yeah, I don't know if I said anything valuable, but hopefully I said something valuable. I had to have said at least one thing that sparked something. Well, these electrolytes are fire. See ya. That's all I have. Bye.